Greetings, Pathfinders. I'm your host, Dustin Knight, and welcome to another edition of Infiknight Reviews. Tonight, we're reviewing 6 incredible adventure books, including expansions to existing adventure paths, great books for after you're done with certain other adventures, standalone adventures, and some awesome hooks. First, I do need to clarify that all views on this show are my own and have not been reviewed or endorsed by Paizo or any creators of these products. My ongoing goal is to showcase and review as many products on Pathfinder and Starfinder Infinite as possible. If you have any requests for products I haven't already given a thorough review, please feel free to contact me on social media or shout out to me here in chat. I'm also looking, of course, for interviews or anybody who would like to make an announcement on my show. Please feel free to contact me. I have some waiting in the wings, but today I felt like I wanted to do a more traditional, going over some cool products I found, especially with a focus on adventures. So, if everyone's ready to start the show, we shall go for it. Do want to hit up some news real quick first, and I'll go over these afterwards. First, while I will be reviewing this later, I did want to hit up that currently the number one Pathfinder Infinite product is Danger Dossier by Andrew White, and I'll put that up there in chat. It is a bestiary for Starfinder that brings some of our favorite monsters from Pathfinder over to Starfinder, and I've heard great things about it, and I just really want to do a Starfinder show. I will get to that, I promise, but for right now, I just wanted to shout out on that because love Andrew White's work, and it looks like a great product. If you want to learn about these and other amazing products, you should email Owen Casey Stevens at infinite.releases@gmail.com and ask to subscribe to his newsletter. He is sending out this, I believe it's either weekly or bi-weekly newsletter out to everyone who subscribes, talking about all the great stuff on Pathfinder Infinite. And as long as I'm talking about Owen, I would also like to shout out to the Scaldwood Blight Kickstarter. I'll put that link also in chat. It only has 5 days to go. It is more than completed. It is a complete 1 to 20th level adventure path for Pathfinder 2 by, well, I know Owen Casey Siemens involved, and then Ron Lundeen. Yes, Ron Lundeen. How could I blank on that name? Is working on this awesome adventure path. Ron Lundeen's been working with adventures with Paizo for as long as I've been in the hobby, I believe. So he knows his stuff, and this looks like a killer adventure. Also do want to throw out a shout out also to No Nat 1 or Sinclair's library. It's a codex of 150 illustrated NPCs, almanac of a bunch of new player options, and some other cool stuff for PF2. And these are honestly just stuff that I'm telling people about. Hi, Dom! Hi, Camlack! I'm glad to see people in chat. These are just stuff I like to shout out to. This is just kind of stuff that I'm throwing out to friends on social media anyway. So this is just neat stuff. Let's see. Yep. And with that, oh yeah, I had one more thing I want to talk about. PaizoCon was announced. It will be a duo online hybrid, online and in real person event. There will be a limited number of tickets and some other restrictions to the in-person event. But what's relevant to our show here is that at PaizoCon, which will be from May 27th to 29th, we're going to have something, we're not sure yet, but it has been announced, and I will quote the blog here directly. We will have, if you're an author, third-party publisher, or Pathfinder Infinite content producer interested in running events, please stay tuned to the Paizo blog for more information about how you could add your events to our physical or online schedule. So, I love that. If you want to, if you are an Infinite creator, or you know an Infinite creator, or you just want to get that out there, it looks like soon we will have a blog post about how you could add your product to the docket at PaizoCon, and hey, get people interested in your games. While the most natural fit for that would be an adventure, there is nothing saying that you couldn't make pre-gens of your collection of base classes, or even have people create their new characters using your base class with a little tutorial beforehand and run through an existing adventure. I'm sure there'll be lots of different creative ways we'll see people out there trying different things. So I think that's really cool. I'm glad to see more recognition at PaizoCon of Infinite. I suppose this is the first year we've had Infinite for PaizoCon, so I'm glad to see the recognition, and I'm hoping to see some of my favorite Pathfinder Infinite creators, whether it's online or at the physical convention. I will probably be doing the online convention myself, simply because of personal circumstances, but I hope everybody who's going in person has a great time. All right, that's so cool. Just checking out chat here. Yeah, getting some online PaizoCon still. Yeah, I think that is the way of the future is having these online cons. Definitely the way of the present, because there are plenty of people who can't make it that far, and it's great for the people who could never really make it, even during normal times. So I'm glad to be able to meet so many cool people that I've could only possibly meet online. Because I gotta tell you, the bar chat and the cafe chat in PaizoCon, totally worth it. I absolutely love it. It's on their Discord. You could go in there and hang out and listen to some amazing people from Paizo and the Paizosphere talk about some awesome stories, and it's such a warm feeling, and it's so awesome. It's so great. I love it. I love it. I love it. But yes, we will get on with the show. Let's go ahead and flip over to our PDF focus, as the first adventure I wanted to go over is Wrecked Upon the Shore by Simon Hunter. So I saw this a while ago. Oh, yeah, that's up there to remind me. There will be spoilers. I'm going to keep that up there. I'm not sure how to review adventures without spoilers, without making it only a 10-minute review. So I'm going to start the review talking about the adventure a little, and you can mute me until it's done. I will avoid things like combat tactics or puzzles or riddles. Like, I'm going to be avoiding those kind of spoilers. I'm going to try to do broad strokes, but I can't guarantee that there won't be some spoilers, because these are adventures. But I'm sure there's plenty of GMs out there that will still appreciate this. And frankly, this gives you a great overview as to the quality of adventures on Pathfinder Infinite and how awesome they are. Most of these authors will either have or probably will have multiple adventures on Pathfinder Infinite, and this will give you a taste of what their work's like. So even if you go, darn, I really would love to have played that, hey, look at their name, look on Pathfinder Infinite, look up their other work. They probably have other stuff, but honestly, like I said, I'm going to try to avoid spoilers as much as I can. You'll probably there's going to be a ton in these adventures you don't have, and especially because these are third-party products, there's plenty of great opportunity and room to work in your own stuff in these adventures. You will find in a lot of third-party adventures, there's a lot of moments where it's like they'll give you lists of opportunities and ideas, and it really lets you expand on it. So they aren't complete sandboxes. They give you an adventure, but they do a good job giving you space and room to breathe as a GM, a little bit more so than your standard AP. So take that as you will. Let me put up the first link to this right here. Wrecked Upon the Shore. Haha. So, Wrecked Upon the Shore is a, what level is this adventure? I'm sorry. This is a 4th level adventure. Yes, a 4th level adventure that takes place around Otari and its coastline. So it's great for people who are getting involved in the beginner box and Troubles in Otari and that whole shtick. Fantastic for that, perfect for that. Intended for 4 adventures at level 4. You'll be level 5 by the end of it. The product overall, it's let's see, $6.99. You get 3 location-specific maps, 2 town maps, 13 maps in total. Various NPCs and enemies, custom hazards, stat blocks of everybody encountered, lots of read-aloud text. Frankly, some really, really awesome art that you won't find I don't think they just use Paizo art. They have a lot of their own artwork in this, and it looks really nice. There's cave encounters, open area encounters, and that's just reading here from the product page. So let's get into this PDF a little bit more, shall we? All right, so Wrecked Upon the Shore. The idea of the adventure where it starts is that there's this ship. This ship crashed on the shore near Otari, and they want you to investigate. There's a couple survivors you get to talk to. There's this, it very much starts out with kind of this mystery adventure hook. But as it goes into more detail, and yeah, there's some, even like you fight a crab on the beach, you could flip it over and hit its weak spot for extra damage, which I love that. So I'm not 100% sure if that's in the bestiary or if that's something they just did to their crab in here. Not a million% sure on that. As you go through, you start to learn that there's more to things than meets the eye. It starts to get a little subterranean. It starts to get into stuff with serpent folk. This whole kind of, there's some elements of like the serpent folk cult starting to get into some stuff that your heroes have to try to stop. What I do like about this is, like I said, it goes really well from the beginner box and Troubles in Otari, and there's a lot of great ways that you could veer off this into other potential adventures. It does conclude the Serpent Folk story, but it leaves enough openings and enough interesting NPCs that there's a lot you could go in this. As you can see here on these sidebars, like Isla, it talks about Isla, older sister of Ozla. It goes into their backstory enough that it gives you enough that as a GM, you'll have more than enough prep with these NPCs that you'll be able to answer random questions, socialize, get in their heads. They do a really good job with that. The full stat blocks are here. This looks absolutely gorgeous. There's tons of information here that is very well laid out and easy to parse. And of course you get your maps. We have some wonderful maps here. We got maps here of Otari that frankly you could use even with your adventures in Otari, with some more information here about some of these names of these streets. And you got the maps here of a shoreline, which I just want to throw out the shoreline map. There's not a lot of really good shoreline maps in tabletop role-playing. I had that problem recently where I wanted a really good shoreline with a crashed boat, and frankly, I couldn't find one. So I think I found one, but it didn't work for me. Like, it just didn't look as nice as this. So the maps in this product are excellent. You got a full dungeon in here. Really nice serpent theme. Good textures on these maps. The whole product is really fun, and finding a 4th level adventure is kind of a hassle too, I'll be honest. There's a lot of like 3rd to 5 with adjustments. There's a lot of 3rd, there's a lot of 5, there's 1 to 5s, and there's 1 to 3s. So 4th level really hits a good spot. A really solid spot. In fact, I'm starting to think now, maybe I should at some point just go over all the adventures, both Paizo and Infinite, and like map out the levels and try to see what levels were missing in gaps. That would be kind of a fun that would be a fun fun thing we could do. Oh yeah, you're right. Slow game saver, that Tengu does look familiar. Okay, so this Tengu is definitely Paizo artwork down here. I do remember that, but it works so well with the story and it works so well with the setting that I didn't notice. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that either. It definitely gets me into the adventure and into the idea. All right, so we will be moving on now to one that I was very excited to see and that I'm personally going to be using in my own adventures. Here we go. So this is Agents of Edgewatch Missing Person Wine Merchant. It's written by Helen Savor, who you might know from Vellum and Lace, the Pathfinder Infinite fiction by Vanessa Hoskins and Helen Savor. This is meant to be a supplement for Dreaming at Devil Palace, the Edgewatch first book in Edgewatch. It helps bridge between, I believe it's between chapter 1 and 2 as a kind of side quest. Oh, hi Helen, she's in chat right now. Yeah, it's meant to bridge as a side quest to try to get you to the Dreaming Palace. This is only from the first book of Ages of Edgewatch, so don't feel like you have to click away if you're playing through Ages of Edgewatch. And even then, you're not going to be spoiled watching this. You're not going to be spoiled for Ages of Edgewatch watching this, other than the fact there is a place called the Dreaming Palace, and this will edge you in that direction. Anyway, so I love this product. I'm definitely gonna be using it in my own campaign. It's not even an Edgewatch campaign. Like, I'm running this like emergency responders of Absalom, and this is going to be a potential side quest in my campaign. I don't know if my players are going to take it or not. We'll see. I play a little more open world, but if they do, there's a lot of good stuff in here. And even if they don't, just the NPCs in here are awesome. So the way this works is it gives you a full timeline of this missing person, like what they were doing for the last 5 or 6 days here during the Radiant Festival. It's a wine merchant from Irison. They're selling this really special ice wine that it's expensive, it's exotic. So some people are kind of concerned, like, where is she? She hasn't fulfilled all of her orders yet. She got the orders and she fulfilled some of them. So what happened to her? And it gives you some leads in terms of the people who did the orders. You could talk to them to get rumors, to go over to other bars. Some of these bars might have some less savory characters in them that you might need their combat stats for to get through. Oh, there's that Tengu right there as well. Okay, well, it's a popular Tengu. It's a cool Tengu. I enjoy that Tengu very much. Yes. So each of these bars have a lot of flavor. There's one that's kind of like an Irasini lodge made by somebody who's never necessarily been there themselves, but they like the aesthetic, and that's why the Irasini person was there, was because they're like, oh, somebody actually from Irison. I'm going to, ask them what it's like over there and pretend we're in Irison and have a fun time with them. So, there's one that's just a corner store that the person bought the wine from her to maybe consume themselves, but they tend to buy too much stuff and find too much stuff at adventures, so they resell them. Tengu very much. Okay, yes. Well, I'm going to take that now. I didn't think of that until now. Thank you, Chemlock in chat. Tengu very much. Yes, Tengu very much for using this Tengu here. With the full stats for this Tengu here. At the assault and battery, which love that. It's a patisserie. It's a bakery. And run by Tengu, and I love it. I love it very much. Very, very fun pirate Tengu. He has a whisk, as you can see here in the art, and he's covered in flour. I liked him a lot. You could go. The party could take these leads to go to and from all these different bars, trying to figure out where this person is until they find out that they are at the place that you should be going in the adventure path. And that's what's fun about it, is frankly, you could use this in any adventure when you're trying to lead the characters somewhere and you can't quite figure out, how do I get my characters to this cool location? I got a great example. If any of my players are watching, please go ahead and mute this. But I do want to get them at some point to this political rival of their patron, and they don't want to go themselves. So it might seem too coincidental, but I'm very tempted to make this wine merchant disappear at that potential political rival's estate. And there's a good reason why they would kidnap people. So that would be one great example. And then if they see the missing persons poster and they're interested in it, or if they think it's some kind of an emergency, or someone goes to them with this as a potential emergency, hey, there's a way. Because frankly, you could use this product, this Agents of Edgewatch Missing Persons Wine Merchant, in any adventure, as long as it's an urban adventure. It works best in Absalom, and you need to get your PCs somewhere, and they're interested in finding a missing person. Here you go. In fact, I'm probably gonna make the wine merchant. Maybe I could just make them related. I have an Iraseni in the party. I'll just make them related to one of the Iraseni and have their family be like, can you help us find this person? We'll pay you. We need your help. So yeah, fun product. Tons of information. Will save you at least one, maybe even 2 sessions of prep. It's $1 right now on Pathfinder Infinite, and you can check out that link that I think I held out in chat. I'll throw it in chat. I think I missed it. Where is... I did not organize these as well as I wish I did. Conversion. Oh, there we go. Haha, copy, paste. Yes. So, love this product. Go ahead and check it out. Really, really fun adventure. Lots of great information. Really good for GMs who like to improvise too. There's a lot of good room here for improvisation. Like there's some box text here for some dialogue with Dara Fenkel, the gnome shop owner of the Misty Mug. But for the most part, it's a lot of positive ad lib with a ton of information for each bar that will let you flesh it out on your own and respond to how your players would respond. So that's very, very, very well done. All right. From there, we will go here to The Haunting of Harrowstone. The Haunting of Harrowstone by the Gremlin Brothers. They've done a lot of with Quest for the Frozen Flame. They have a full like additional stuff you could do with that I did a review on 4 weeks ago. They also did this here, The Haunting of Harrowstone. This is a complete second edition conversion for book 1 of 6 of the Carrion Crown Adventure Path. That's a really early adventure path in the Paizo library, but if dealing with the Carrion Crown, Tarba Farm, and all that. So if you have a hankering to play through that 1E adventure path, all you have to do is either find the Carrion Crown Book 1 somewhere or buy the PDF on Paizo.com. I think you might even be able to get that one printed on Pathfinder Infinite, but I'm not 100% sure. I know some of their older AP Book 1 titles you could get printed on Infinite or on Drive-Thru-RPG. Otherwise, you could find the Carrion Crown PDF on Paizo.com. And once you have that, you can pick this up for only $6.99 and add it to your adventure. And it comes with so much to make a great, complete second edition Carrion Crown experience. You get VTT stuff that you could plug into Foundry. You get, the JSON files with all the stuff in it that you'll need for Lorimore Palace and the other parts of the adventure. They have full maps for all the different locations, redone with the Gremlin Brothers style. I love their maps. They're awesome. They have these full, as you can see back here on the cover, they come with these JPEGs of these large, they're not quite maps. I mean, they could work as isometric maps, but they also really help simply with setting. They help you with setting. They help you like get, oh, this is what this room looks like. Cool. Like I'm in exploration mode, but I kind of get it now because this is what the room looks like. Let me see if they're in the back of the PDF real quick. Ha ha ha. Okay, well you can see them in the product page, which I will just go ahead and copy and paste that over right now. You can see right here on the product page in chat that there are some 3D renderings, some beautiful 3D renderings there that can be used both as isometric maps and simply as stage setting to throw out to your players there when you're in chat to discuss what the Lorimore map looks like. There is also, of course, all the conversions. Every monster that you could want for this adventure is in here with PF2 stats. There's conversions of the backgrounds, which were based on kind of the traits that you got in the campaign player's guide for Carrion Crown. Which, yeah, some really cool backgrounds here with some more than just stats and a skill feat. Stuff like you start with 10 extra gold, or you get a circumstance bonus on will saves against fear. Stuff that makes sense for the campaign. And of course, the other advantage to backgrounds is you throw them at your players and it gives them an idea of what lore skills will be important, what skills will be important, and kind of the general theme of the campaign. So you won't have to like give them the 1E player's guide. You probably still should, but it will help bridge players even further than just the 1E player's guide for Carrion Crown. They also have full information on how to use Cards of Fate. There's a Hero Point system in Carrion Crown, and they've converted it over to second edition. And they did a darn good job with it too, might I add. It's has to do with pulling hero cards, seeing if they're aligned to your key ability score and alignment, and spending them during the game to get really cool effects. Like the Chaotic Evil card lets you instantly force a creature to reroll a saving throw it just made, taking the result of the second roll, even if the check will fail. So that just functions like a hero point with a little narrower scope. Some of them are even more esoteric, like True Neutral lets you get some glimpse into the future as though you cast Augury, requiring 10 minutes of information. And then there's a flat check and some more information about that. But yes, that's great because the hero card thing in Carrion Crown is, I've heard a lot of people talk very highly of it, and it wouldn't be Carrion Crown without it. And then, of course, you have the information here with, you got the maps for the manor, you have stats on the NPCs, you have stats for the creatures. They give you some good tips on role-playing these NPCs that go a little bit above and beyond just what you get in Carrion Crown. It's formatted really clean and nice. A lot of great information here you could use. It's a conversion of a highly lauded AP. And I'm sure that we're going to see, book 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 eventually. And probably knowing the high rate at which the Gremlin brothers release books, I have a feeling you'll probably see it before you finish this book. I have a feeling. I can't guarantee that at all. I have no inside information on that, but given the rate of speed that they release their conversions, you'll probably have a good chance that when you get through this book, book 2 will be ready. Maybe even book 2 and book 3. And there you have it. And a lot of this, what you're getting is the maps, the JSON file for Foundry, all the VTT stuff. Like, if you want to do this over VTT, this is the way to go. Like, frankly, even if I was doing 1E over VTT, I might consider getting this, because there's just these maps. I like these maps a lot. I like the Gremlin Brothers maps. I'm a huge fan. All right. With that, though, I am going to move on to another adventure that I'm considering figuring out how to convert, because this one is just so freaking cool. I love it so much. All right, so we're doing 2 adventures here by Sari Rowland, People in Glass Houses and The Haunting at Blackthorn Manor. If you're interested in seeing these yourself, I will say right off the bat that The Haunting at Blackthorn Manor, which I'll throw up right here, has a suggested price. I like seeing when creators do this. It lets you, basically, you could, if you want to, you could buy it for 0, and then after you read it, be like, oh yeah, that's totally worth it, and then pay the suggested price, or however much you feel you should pay afterward. Or you could just, buy it for the suggested price because it's an awesome looking adventure. And then that will give you a great idea of what to expect here from Sari Rowland's adventures, which I didn't know what to expect going into it, but man, so freaking cool. I absolutely love this adventure. So People in Glass Houses, it takes place in the northwest of Taldor, but you could probably put it in most any semi-large size city or artsy district, as long as you could find some kind of way to insert the Fae into it. There's strong Fae influence here. Oh yeah, the artwork on this is awesome, isn't it? I love this artwork. I love this art style. And you will see this art style throughout the book. As you can see here, there's NPCs, locations, monsters. The illustrations here are awesome. The illustrations are by Natalie Rowland, which I suppose this is my first time realizing they have the same last name as the author. So I'm not sure what their relation is, but I love their artwork. I love the adventure itself. So to give some introduction, this first adventure, People in Glass Houses, takes place in Glimmerborn, located in the northwest of Taldor. It's a city famous for its glassworks, and for some reason, unknown to everyone in the city and the PCs, everyone has turned to glass. For those who don't know, that was this might be a kind of wink nod at a famous Spanish, I want to say king, but maybe prince, who believed that he might have been made of glass. This was apparently a malady at one point. People would be afraid that they might shatter if they're impacted too heavily, and it was a thing. Might just be propaganda from historical propaganda, though. Not 1,000,000% sure on that. But so everybody in town has turned to glass due to this curse, and they want you to help them. They want you to help them figure out why. There's this whole plot dealing with 2 rival Fae queens, one of which feels potentially scorned by this boon that she bestowed on a famous glass artisan in the town, who is giving it to their next of kin, who is thought to be the source of this curse. But there's, some more intrigue and some more information on that. There's total stats in here of the Curse of Glass, including casting it as a spell, and what happens to you on a critical failure, which is what's happened to this full town here. You basically, you can't eat or drink anymore. You don't think you need to eat as long as you have it, though. And you become very brittle. Where was this? Curse of Glass. It was really cool. I like how they did it, and I want to show it off. Here it is, Curse of Glass. You gain weakness 5 to physical damage, immunity to bleed and poison, immunity to magical healing, oof, and you cannot eat or drink, but still need to breathe. this effect is permanent. It's a 5th level spell, rare spell, of course. Curse of Glass. I like that a lot. The failure is just weakness 5 for 1d4 rounds. So even that's like, it's a pretty good spell, I gotta admit. You can see more of that beautiful artwork in here. There's a magic item called the Glimmer Blade, a glass sword that the personal bodyguards of this Fey Lord tend to carry around. There's a new monster in it that I absolutely adore because I love foxes. Where is that? Oh, here it is. The Electric Snark. And look at that art. Look how cute that is. That's adorable. So the Electric Snark, it's like this little fox, dog, wolf thing. I'm going to call it a fox for this stream because I like foxes. And... oh, that's not coming on completely on the stream, is it? Let me pop it over. Nope. All right, that's fine. I gotta adjust my... oh, I know why. Haha, there we go. Oh yeah, so the Snark here is absolutely adorable. I love it. It's a small little electric fae. It could shock you. It could bolt dash to turn into a line of electricity and fly far away. It's wonderful. There's full stats here for the queen, for the Fae queens and their guards. There's full maps here done in similar art style to the cover and the other artwork that you've seen in here, including a map for the town, the caves, this throne room, this workshop, and this fabulous map here, the Glimmerglands throne room. Look at that. You don't see colorful maps like that a lot, and I think it really, really helps cement that you're in the first world. Like, I know I've played adventures where the GM just had to pull out a forest map and like tell us that the trees were all multicolored and sparkly. And it's not the same as like seeing this right here. Like, this is great. If I ever have my PCs go to the first world, which I eventually want them to, I'm totally want to use this map. The adventure has plenty of hooks for explaining why you'd be here, why you care, why you'd want to use this. It has some information about how the townsfolk are trying to cope with having been turned into glass. It has the information on where to go around the town to get there. And it's just a unique adventure. It really heavily reminds me of, frankly, of the best of Pathfinder Society. It's one of those adventures where you could tell somebody in an elevator what makes it cool, and they're like, oh, I get it. That sounds really cool. An entire city turned from glass due to a fey curse that we have to break. Yeah! I get it. So this is for level 6 to 7 players. Fun adventure. And we will then move on. We're good on time. I will then move on. Go ahead and move on to... oh, I gotta link that in chat, don't I? Yeah, I gotta link that in chat. Haunting, Edgewatch, People in Glass Houses. Good name, too. People in Glass Houses. I like the name a lot. Since he's Scottish, I think his name is going to be pronounced the same. Gary. The artwork on both is kind of... okay, cool. All right. So let's check out the other Natalie Rowland, Haunting of Blackthorn Manor. Is this it? No. Where's Blackthorn Manor? There it is. Blackthorn Manor. All right, so again, illustrated by Natalie Rowland, written by Sari Rowland. This is a horror adventure, level 4 through 5. It has a content warning at the beginning, which I appreciate, that it contains themes of grief and bereavement that some people might find unsettling. It has to do with a widow's husband having died and her potentially, spoiler warning, abandoning her god to bring him back to life using necromancy, which is not good for a paladin of Iomedae. So yeah, right there I knew I was hooked. I love stories about fallen paladin NPCs. I really dig stories about villains that you could sympathize with, and you very much have a sympathetic antagonist in this. And you have a very unsympathetic antagonist behind the antagonist, who led them to do all these horrible things, which makes it considerably easier to palate. As there is this nasty lich as well, that this paladin was responsible for destroying his body and sealing him away from his phylactery and making him this weird spirit that's going around doing all these awful things. So yes, it takes place in Blackthorn Village, which is north of Andrin, near the Darkmoon Vale. So very easy to move from this to the other adventure. Both levels and theme make it quite easy, as the Darkmoon Vale has a lot of Fey influences and is close to Northern Taldor. Um, they have full information here about all the townsfolk that you'll probably work with most. You have this paladin. You have the paladin's squire, I will call him, slash sort of adoptee, sort of adept squire. You have their neighbors who are concerned about her. You have uh, every good reason to want to figure this out, as the town is starting to have some problems because of this ritual that's happening and people disappearing. And you have this big manor, this haunted house that you get to go through. There's some really nasty hazards here that I enjoy. Usually I don't like when hazards are in their own rooms with no monsters, but they do a good job here making these hazards tricky, part puzzle, part hazard. Definitely works fine on its own. Could potentially lead to a monster encounter as well. They're quite well balanced. It's not just, oh, there's a hole, we lost some hit points, we gotta wait 30 minutes for the champion to heal us all. No. There's some good hazards in this, I gotta tell them. There's a poltergeist chef. I love this. Okay, massive spoilers here. There's a poltergeist chef that, in addition, you could fight it like it's a poltergeist, but if you want to put it to rest, you could do cooking checks to finish his meal. Like, that's why he's haunting the place, is he never got to finish this final meal before he was killed. So you could put him to rest by finishing his meal with cooking checks, and you could figure that out by seeing like this half-done meal in the kitchen. I like that a lot. I think that's really clever. And any chance to roll a cooking check in a tabletop role-playing game, I'm going to take. And then, yes, you get to fight the possessed paladin. You get a lot of choices here as to whether or not you want to try to save her or redeem her or murder her. So you do have a lot of choices here, and there are 3 different potential outcomes. Of course, you could, you never know what your party's going to do, but the book gives you 3 potential outcomes for finishes and where the story could lead from there, and plot hooks, which I love that a lot. It's really helpful to see what the intention was for the adventure from the perspective of the writer. And in GM tools here, you have stats for the NPCs, and you have your maps. So yeah, really fun adventure. Really, really helps to show Sari and Natalie's work. You should definitely check it out. Haunting of Blackthorn Manor. Suggested price of $4.72 on Pathfinder Infinite. And I will go ahead and link that in chat as well. Hooray. Further, we will head on over to... What else do I have? We did that. I have one more that I wanted to cover, and this one is the least adventure-y of all in a way, but it's a really cool tool. I love it a lot. Here it is. 100 hooks and rumors to hear about in Magnamar. I like this idea a lot for a book. It shows this. It was done with a lot of care and love. This book is really, really, really fun. Whether you're doing an AP in Magnamar, whether it's Pathfinder 1, Pathfinder 2, or you've ported Magnamar into 5e, this book works for you. Whenever you have PCs going around looking for information, you could use this to lead them to different hooks. You could use this to potentially lead to an adventure you want to do. Maybe you're doing a sandboxy urban adventure. They don't have to be strictly Magnamar. There's plenty of rumors in here that work in any city at all. There's some samples here on the product page if you want to look them over yourself. And I'll go over just a few here in this chat. Let me pull this link. All right. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and roll. I'm going to roll a D100 in Google and figure out which one we're going to go in. Okay, so I got an 85. We're going to go look at 85. That's how I'm going to review this. So you know I'm not just cherry picking the best ones. I am just rolling. All right, so 35. The Shoanti of Magnamar have been increasingly discriminated against and oppressed, and the city has grown in size and power, driving them to the darker corners of the city and into jobs that put their lives on the line. There are rumors that some Shoanti secretly strike back against them, oppressing them, causing ill fortune and sometimes death. Huh. Wow. So yeah, that could lead to a whole lot of stuff. You should definitely go over everything in this book before you use it in your adventure. I wouldn't blindly roll a d100 like that because I would want to use rumors that either inspire me to create an adventure or that I know my players will take an interest in if I'm looking for a red herring, or not take an interest in if I just want them to know that they failed their diplomacy gather information check, which is the ideal for a book like this. Is if your players, especially if they have like man, what is that feat called, the feat that you get a critical failure and a success on your knowledge check, or whenever they would roll a critical failure on their knowledge society or similar check, you could go ahead and use it for this. Yeah. Kemlak in chat says you could do a really cool 3 rolls to create a plot adventure. Oh, definitely. Let's see. I got 35. Small rock falls frequently tumble from the face of sea cleft and land in low cleft, and it's rumored that the number of these rock falls have been steadily increasing over time. Some are worried that the sea cleft might perhaps be becoming unstable and in need of repair, or much of the cliff might tumble into the low cleft. I like that a lot. It gives you an opportunity for a simple downtime. You spend some time shoring up these rocks, or it could of course give you some information, lead you to who's doing this, what's doing this. There could be some subterranean thing below the cleft that's causing these rocks to fall. It could be somebody perhaps even trying to do this to, like, I don't know, put down real estate in low cleft, or maybe even doing this to try to cover up a potential scheme that they're trying to do that will inevitably involve them crushing somebody's house with a big rock, or maybe somebody's just digging up holes in their house or trying to create a basement in their house in sea cleft, and it's causing problems. There's so many different ways you go with these rumors, and that's what makes this product so neat. And frankly, what makes this such a great Infinite product is the fact that it's so tied in with the setting, with Magnamar, that you couldn't find this anywhere else. Like, this only works because we have Infinite to allow us to expand on these unique locations that Paizo has given us. And I really do hope that Adrian Kennelly gives us more books with more hooks like this. I want to see 100 hooks and rumors in Absalom, in Goka, in Opara. They could potentially even release these along with APs as they come out. They could look into APs and be like, oh, the next AP is taking place in, I have no idea. Let's just say Alkenstar. There could be 100 hooks and rumors here about an Alkenstar. And things like that really help add something really special to our campaigns. And I think our players really appreciate something like this, rather than the GM sitting there for a few minutes and going, you hear that the baker's brother is missing, but he was found, so don't worry about it. Rolled another die because I wanted to do one more of these. Let's go ahead and do 25. Midnight Milk is a drug that has been growing in popularity in Magnamar over the years. There are rumors that recently this drug has started showing up in other cities, although not in any significant quantities. Some say that it's only to be expected that drug users would take drugs to other places they visit. All right, Midnight Milk. I don't think that's a thing in Path. I think that they made that up for this, which is fabulous. Oh, no, it is a thing. It's a thing. Cool. Ingested drug created by intellect devourers of High Ilvandrin, which is in Orv in the Darklands. Oh, that's really cool. All right, so yeah, that leads to a lot of stuff. You read that Midnight Milk and check it out, and you're just like, man, what is that? Oh, it's from the Darklands. Ooh, something happening in Magnamar dealing with the Darklands. That leads to all kinds of fun adventures for your players, I gotta say. So yeah, every one of these rolls could potentially lead to another adventure, another dungeon. And what's really nice about doing campaigns like this is it gives your players an opportunity to decide where things are headed. Like, it's definitely the kind of thing if you need prep and you don't want to do ad lib GMing, have them do these gather information rolls either at the end of toward the end of a session, or even between sessions. Say, like, okay, it's between sessions, so you guys are investigating this murder. If you want to do your gather information checks now, go ahead and do them. And you could give them 3, 4, 5 of these rumors, as they give each person their own rumor. And if the party goes, oh, what's that? That sounds interesting. I don't think it's where we're going to find our missing person, but we should definitely check that out when we're done with this. And that'll give you as the GM some time to really think, oh, how could I expand this rumor out to an entire adventure? Which, hey, that's priceless. Absolutely priceless. So to go over everything one more time before we're done here. I do want to announce too. I'm in the very early nugget stage of potentially getting a Discord for this channel. Not just for this channel, but I really do want a space where Infinite creators, Pathfinder content creators of all sorts, can connect with the people who want to ask about their product or connect with each other, get freelancers together, do stuff together in a more third-party sphere. Because I have yet to find I've found some Discords that have channels for that, but I haven't found a Discord dedicated for that. So I'm gonna look into making that, and I will be here next week with more information on that. Whether it will be my own server or latching onto somebody else's server, I'm not 1,000,000% sure on yet, as I have some talks with some people, but I will get that information out there. You will hear about it, because I would love that. I'm looking into different potential shows we could do, such as talking to people about how to make stuff in Infinite. I've been getting a lot of requests for that, how to put stuff together, how to hire freelancers, stuff like that. And I do want to use this platform to point out to everybody that if you go to nodirectionpodcast.com and click on Infinite Possibilities on the top right, which I will also just link that in chat, we have a full guide there as to how to make stuff on Infinite, how to hire freelancers, what programs to use to put together PDFs, what's it like building a business as a third-party creator, what's it like looking up information. I was one of the authors for that, specifically for me looking up information on Golarion, but it's an invaluable resource and one that I link to people a lot. So if you're interested in getting involved in Pathfinder Infinite as a creator, you should probably maybe check that out. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No problem there. No problem. I'm talking in chat here. I love supporting the community. I love supporting other people's work. I want Infinite to thrive. Infinite is thriving, and I want it to thrive more. I'll put it that way. Because I'm loving the stuff that we're seeing here. I want to see more of it, and I want to see more people get involved, because everyone has something really cool to offer, and if we could get all that something out there, we could pick and choose what works for our players and what works for our characters and have that much better of a time. In a way, I almost feel like Infinite fills that void for me that was left by losing the player companion line. Like, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore the Lost Omens line. The Lost Omens line is amazing, but they're big hardcover books. Like, I loved having easily digestible files like that. Monthly, weekly, whatever, easily digestible files like this. And Pathfinder Infinite really helps scratch that itch. And then further brings in all this new talent that I've never even heard of until now. All these great writers that don't have yet to write for Paizo that now have this platform for us to all write on. It's wonderful. So yeah, thank you very, very much everyone for joining this chat. Thank you for watching this show. I will as usual be on my channel doing Booster Bestiary, where I make live on the air Pathfinder 2nd Edition monsters, and we discuss Pathfinder 2nd Edition monster design as I open booster packs. I'll be doing more Magic the Gathering packs because Neo Kamigawa is my jam right now, because I like Kitsune. No, because I just really like the aesthetic in Neo Kamigawa, and it's been really fun opening those packs. And then meet me here next Friday, as I will have yet another Infiknight Reviews. And more information about next Friday's show will be posted all over my social media. Please like and follow, and I appreciate everyone who's subscribed to my channel here on Twitch, as I now have my little pipe fox emoji in there, and I love it very much. And if you have any more suggestions for shows, for emojis, if you want an interview on my show where you release a new product or talk about your favorite products, or you just want me to review your product on the air, please go ahead and find me on Twitter, Discord, Facebook, or whatever is most comfortable for you, and we could go ahead and chat about it. So thank you again very much, everyone, for watching. I had a great time, and I hope to see you later on the next edition of Infiknight Review.